dynamic lighting and all that stuff, you know. And Mike Learn said it best, you know, you have to learn how to retrain your eyes to see in HD. You know, you got to pick apart every single little detail and element of what you're looking at. You know, if you're just sitting on your back porch and you're just, you know, looking at your yard or whatever, you know, it's kind of like you can't see the forest for the trees until you sit there and you say, I'm going to look at that piece of bark on that tree. And as sophomoric as it may sound, whenever you concentrate on that and you're able to single out that one individual shape and study it, even if it's just for 5 seconds, but just make yourself able to recognize individual small details, your art and your appreciation of art and the things within it will grow. You know, I can't imagine, you know, not being able to see everything as art. You know, I mean, the master painter definitely did an awesome job. You know, I mean, if you look at clouds, there's so much color, and anytime you look at images from the Hubble telescope, I mean, every color in the spectrum is there. I mean, it is. And whenever you do your artwork, you can't just be limited to what maybe you see in a magazine or what you see in pop culture. You know, a lot of times, you know, like I said earlier, I get caught in that loop. But, you know, if I may not paint it, but I'll make damn sure that I appreciate it and look at it and understand it and try and make my brain process what I'm looking at. And whenever you go to replicate a picture or a photograph or anything like that, you know, you're going to have to break it down. You know, you're going to have to look and analyze, and even sometimes just sit there in your recliner before you ever start painting the night before or something, and just look at it. Just break it down. Even if you have to, you know, tape off little, you know, take and make little windows and analyze each individual spot on that painting, you know. It really just, because sometimes whenever you're looking at something, your brain just can't process everything at one time. That's why, you know, whenever you're just looking around, you don't really notice where the light, you know, is hitting, how the light's hitting the trees, or, you know it's coming from above, and that's about it, you know. But all the different tones and, you know, the cast and the shadows and the way secondary light is bouncing up off the ground, or, you know, stuff like that. So just pay attention, you know, and look at what you're painting, look at what you're doing, look at what you're drawing. You know, how many times have you been sitting there and you just completely zone out? You know, just look at everything. You know, if you look at your dashboard, look at your steering wheel, you know, the light, the way, you know, white highlights aren't just plain white highlights. They're a lighter shade, you know, I mean. And as I talk about this stuff, you know, I think about it, and, you know, it brings to the front of my mind things that may go to the back burner, you know. And, you know, I just try and constantly think about it. And, yeah, that might be obsessive, but, you know, there's plenty of other things to think about that are a lot more negative and a lot less positive. And, you know, worrying about the world and politics and everything else, I find that whenever I concentrate on art and I think about how everything looks and how see textures and colors and everything, it puts my mind at ease to think about that, and not have to think about, you know, woe is me, I'm broke, don't have any money, politics, you know, world sucks, you know, this and that and other, you know. So that's my take on that, and I don't know, I felt like blabbing, I guess. I'm pretty good at that. These videos give me a time to talk and get thoughts out of my head, and, you know, I guess they teach me, because things that, if I sit back and watch it, it's like, kind of like free writing. You don't really know what you're writing until you turn around, and after you get done writing, you look at what you wrote, and you really don't know you know, you just like, wow, that really came out, you know. So it's basically a free thinking process, you know, just kind of getting the juices flowing, and it's another outlet for me to, you know, keep my mind active in an artistic way, and because, you know, I only get to paint and do stuff like that on the weekends. You know, I get to draw, you know, at night when I'm sitting in front of, you know, in my recliner in front of my TV, just kind of playing with the sketch pad. I always keep the sketch pad by my recliner, but I'm constantly thinking about the industry and how, you know, my dreams one day is to be a Corey St. Clair, be a Ed Hubbs, or, you know, anybody that, you know, that Craig Fraser, anybody that does this for a living. I'm extremely envious, and they are blessed, you know, by God beyond means, that they're able to do something that they love so much and be so good at it and be so sought after. It is truly a blessing to have that gift. But, you know, everybody's got different destinies. You know, I was meant to swing a hammer and provide for my family that way, and, you know, I guess, you know, if I never get to be professional at it, then it'll always be fun. You know, some people say if you do it for a living, then you won't like it anymore, and that would break my heart.